If you struggle to control your thoughts, then by the end of this video, you'll learn 4 practical strategies that you can use to start taking control of your mind. So let's dive straight in. This is something that I would say is widely known by now in society, but it wasn't as obvious a while ago, even though it's been written in the Bible for the longest time. And that is that what your mind is used to hearing is what your mind gives back to you. There's a verse in Proverbs that says, guard your heart above all things, because it is a source of life. And the interesting thing is that in the Hebrew language, the word for heart actually meant mind. So what the author is saying is guard your mind because it is the source of your life. And that is absolutely true. And it's something that we have learned in recent times. And that is that your mind shapes how you act because your thoughts precede your actions. And so if you want to start taking control of your thoughts, the first thing you have to do is to start changing what you feed your mind. How the mind works is that it repurposes back to you whatever it is more used to hearing or listening to. And so obviously, if what you hear or listen to most of the time are negative comments, negative attitudes, negative ways of seeing yourself or the life around you, then your mind is going to repurpose that back to you. And that might make you feel like you can't control it because maybe you don't want to listen to those things in your mind, but that's what your mind does. Your mind is just doing its job. So your job is to start changing what you feed it with. And so the very first thing you should start doing is filtering out what you are used to watching, reading, or listening to. And that includes books, movies, TV shows, music, and even what you look at on social media. It takes time to rewire your mind, but when you start filtering out the things that you notice are having a negative impact on your thoughts, then slowly your mind will start to heal as well. The second thing you can start doing is filter out the noise. And what I mean by this is we are all used to hearing a lot of things from many people around us. Many times people tend to express their opinions or ideas about us or what we're doing, even though no one has ever asked them. What I've learned over time is that you need to be able to filter out the noise. When you receive advice or comments or someone tells you something about how you are or what you should do or don't do, consider the source. Is this a person that you trust? Is this a person that has your best interest in mind? Or are they just someone who is expressing how they feel or what they think because they felt like that was their place to do so? I'm not talking about canceling out any kind of constructive criticism, but I'm talking about being mindful of who the thoughts or comments come from. If it's someone that is close to you and has your best interest at heart, maybe they didn't express themselves in the best way, but you can see that they could be right. And so you might evaluate what they said, or they could also be wrong. And so obviously use your discernment. But if it's a comment from someone that doesn't really have any relevance in your life and it just came out of nowhere and made you feel bad, then just learn to filter that out. Don't take that thought in, because the second you take that thought in, your mind starts listening to it. And when it starts listening to it, then it's going to repeat it back to you. The next thing you can do is change your environment. And I understand this might be a difficult one because obviously you might not necessarily be able to move home or city or country, but to the extent that you can, start trying to change your environment. If there are certain environments that you frequently attend and you are seeing that the people there do not have a positive impact on your thoughts or how you think or how you feel, then start spending less time in those environments. And if there's environments that have a negative impact on you that you can't really escape, then try to remove yourself from the less useful situations at least, and try to balance it with something positive and constructive on the other side. And this leads me to my next point, which is feed your mind with the word of God. There are very few things I can say that have completely transformed the way I think and I see my life. Like it has been starting to speak the word of God over my life and feed my mind with the word of God. From when we are young, our mind starts being shaped and formed by the things that we hear around us, whether that be our parents, our family, our friends, and then the wider community as well, and now social media especially. But many times the things that we are used to hearing are not necessarily good, useful, helpful in any way. And so one of the best ways you can start to rewire your mind and the way you think is by feeding it the word of God. There's a verse that says that the word of God is truth and it's like a double-edged sword. And I think it's true because many times we are so attached, maybe even subconsciously, to some of the ways that we have learned to think or see things around us growing up, that we find it difficult to actually see a different perspective. This is what the Word of God does for us. It helps us see things from a different perspective. It helps us see the truth, even in situations where maybe we were confused or struggling before. And so that is really one of the best things I think you can do for yourself to start rewiring your mind. And if you start implementing all of these things in your life, over time you will start seeing a difference. And I'm not suggesting it's going to be an immediate improvement, because it takes time. If you think that maybe your mind has been used to hearing negative or unhelpful things for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, then obviously when you start trying to change that, it is not going to be a quick change, but it is definitely worth the wait. Because like I said in the beginning, your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape how your life turns out to be. So if you really want to start changing your life, then the very first thing you have to do is start changing your thoughts and the way you think. So I hope you found these strategies useful. Let me know in the comments if you have any other strategies that you have learned or used to start taking control of your thoughts. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.